Welcome to the 420 Lifestyle Show. I'm Carly Marley, and I'm here today with Mr. Jeremiah Vandermeer.
What's up, Hot TV?
As well as Boss Lissa in the
Boss
corner.
Lissa.
Who just got up, so she isn't going to say hi right now, but she will in a second. And right now, hopping on real quick, you may have seen his face before on the 420 Lifestyle Show.
Shit's popping on, kids.
Mr. David Malmalevine.
That's right. Howdy.
David Malmalevine fan.
How high are you?
So, Mr.
That beard is
Malmalevine, I
awesome.
believe you have something to tell us about this week.
There are additional smoke-ins to the usual smoke-ins we have every year. The usual ones are 420 and April 20th, Cannabis Day on July 1st, the Global Marijuana March the first Saturday in May. But every 5 years, we have the Gastown anniversary celebrations. And it is the 45th anniversary, so it's going to be one of those gotta celebrate it years. Things that end in 5 and zeros are special to humans. So we're doing it again this year, August 7th at Maple Tree Square. That's like Water and Carroll Street, where all the streets meet, where the Gassy Jack statue is in Vancouver. Very famous. It's actually the very first street ever in Vancouver, back when it was just Grandville.
The name of the town was
name of the
Granville.
town was Grandville because it was a Grandville. And it was actually called Gastown after a while because of this character named Gassy Jack. And he started the first saloon, which basically started Vancouver as Vancouver. And so Vancouver is basically one of the only cities that's been founded by a drug dealer. And so in 1971, the Yippies and the Georgia Straight organized a big smoke-in protest to respond to the city's Operation Dustbin, which was an attack on all the pot dealers in a couple of neighborhoods in Vancouver, the cool neighborhoods, Gastown and Kitsilano. They had arrested over 100 people in a week. And so the response was to have a big smoke-in on August 7th, 1971 at 8:30 p.m. A whole bunch of people showed up at Maple Tree Square all at once, and they smoked a bunch of joints, and they had an 8-foot-long pretend joint, and they were singing Power to the People. By 10 o'clock at night, there was 2,000 people there, and the cops lost their shit, went in on horseback, smashing skulls, being totally brutal. They were even beat up reporters. It was on the front cover of the newspaper, every newspaper in Canada the next day. And ever since then, the cops, kind of have an aversion to beating people up who attend protests because they don't want the bad flack of it. They break that.
For the most part.
For the most part. They'll occasionally bust you.
Doesn't seem to have deterred them that much.
Yeah.
No, but, okay.
As we've learned.
One or two or three instances in over 20 years of protesting where the cops have attacked. Most of the time they stay back.
Right.
And maybe the reason was the lessons they learned at Gastown.
Yeah.
I think so. And the fact that is brought up here and there, like recently when they redesigned Woodward's in the new big building they have down there with the new shopping complex that they made. They actually have a big picture. It's actually a painting. It looks like a photograph.
No, it's a photograph.
Oh, it's a photograph. Oh, it's just restaged.
It's a montage, restaged, reenactment photograph of sometime after the cops charged the crowd. So you never really can tell who's the aggressor in that instance. Did the kids attack the cops or did the cops attack the kids? That isn't told. What they should have done was have one of the photos or a reenactment of the police actually charging a crowd filled with people, including infants. There was like baby strollers around. People were clutching their kids as the cops advanced. That's the image that really tells the true story, and that's left out of the big $1 million mural.
Although the mural is pretty brutal.
Not as half as brutal as the descriptions of what happened that day. Cops dragged pregnant ladies across broken glass by the hair. Cops beat store owners in their storefronts. Cops rode in to stores on horseback and rode into places where people were trapped and rode in on horseback.
Why would they do that?
They put 50 people in the hospital.
What were they so upset about?
Well, disobedience. All these people had...
The shop owners were disobeying?
Well, look, what happened was at 8:30, a bunch of hippies showed up and broke a couple of laws. They blocked traffic,
Right.
and they smoked pot. And the cops had never seen so much flagrant violations or fragrant violations of the law ever, and they thought their authority had been completely undermined by these hairy people, and they got upset that they were being, ignored as supposedly the people who kept everyone in line. They had never encountered anything like it before. So
that's craziness.
Yeah, but ever since then, the cops have. Well, there was a kiss and make up party a week later, and 15,000 people attended that. Smoked all kinds of weed, drank booze, no problems between them and the police.
The kiss and make up party.
Kiss and make up party 1 week after, and ever since then, the cops have really been camera conscious. At least in Vancouver. Most of the time, they'll break that once in a while if they think they can use parental hysteria as an excuse to brutalize people. But hopefully, our education in terms of cannabis not harming teens takes that weapon away from them, and they can no longer justify brutality for any reason. But anyway, we do this every 5 years to keep in mind the lessons of Gastown, and this is coming up in an article I've been told will be up by Wednesday of this week. About the Gastown.
What's the name of your article, David?
Oh my goodness, I've forgotten. I wrote it so long ago. But anyway, it's about how we have to remember the specifics of the Gastown riot, so we don't lose the valuable lessons that it has for us. And one of those things was, if you read the actual demands of the protesters. They talk about how the drug war is a class war and it's unevenly applied. It's extra applied on poor people, and the rich people don't have to worry about getting busted for a joint. And they protest for legalized marijuana dealing, specifically, not just possession, but dealing and an end to the persecution of pot dealers. So it's a dealers' protest because it was Operation Dustbin was not an attack on users; it was an attack on pot dealers. So these things get lost in the reporting of the Gastown riot in the major media and the mass media and even in some of the academic media. So we're there to kind of remind people what it's really about. It's about preventing a war on natives, preventing a war on the poor, preventing a war on smokers and growers and dealers, and allowing everyone to have an inclusive model. It was really a protest for an inclusive legalization model, but back the year I was born, 45 years ago, 1971. So people have been fighting for an inclusive model as long as I've been alive. It's about time, before I get too old to enjoy it, to win that goal.
Awesome. Well, what day is that going to be? It's a week
I think it's Sunday, the 7th of August, 2016. Starts at noon. There'll be joints handed out at 4:20. And we'll be there at the Gassy Jack statue.
Awesome.
I'll be dropping the mad science, the historical mad science for the kids.
Did you tell him about Gassy Jack and his whole...
Yeah, I can. Well, I mean, I can go into greater detail.
Right.
Gassy Jack was, kind of a character, like Mark Emery, a fast talker, someone who could unite a community under getting drunk, And what happened was he rode up in his canoe. He had one chair, a yellow dog, a 13-year-old wife, mother-in-law, and $6 in his pocket and a keg of whiskey. And he said, "Look, boys," who were coming home from work at the sawmill to their houses on Water Street, which was the only street in Vancouver at the time. Sawmill, Water Street, that's it. So he said... All workers, nothing to do there at all. And he said, "Listen, you boys build me a saloon, and I'll serve you drinks every night after work." And they're like, "Yeah." 24 hours later, he had himself a saloon.
That's awesome. Thank you so much, David, for coming on today. I really appreciate it.
No problem.
And I will try my best to be there on Sunday to get some footage to bring to you guys next week on the 420 Live.
Show up for the 420 pot giveaway, because we had lots of leftover joints from the last pot rally, so we're going to hand them out then.
Beautiful.
Yes.
Whoa, hey, there's David talking.
David.
Hi, David. It looks like it works.
More drugs?
Oh, always. Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah, Gassy Jack, Happy Jack, because gas is happy.
And Gastown is
Getting
actually
happy.
where we are right now.
Having a
for
gas,
anyone
having
who
fun.
didn't know that. The 307 West Hastings Cannabis Culture Headquarters is located in Gastown, just down the street from the Gassy Jack statue, actually.
Yes. Yeah, I know Vancouver's got kind of a funny history, founded on
Quite an
bars.
interesting history.
A bunch of drunks.
Yeah.
So yeah, David also always full of information anytime we have him on the show. David used to actually do his walking tours for the Herb School, where in order to get into the Herb School to buy weed, you had to go on the tour and get information, and that's how they kept police officers out of the Herb School, because none of the cops would go on the drug history walking tour. None of them would go through the process. And so whenever they came to the door, they would quiz whoever came to the door to get through, and the cops could never answer the question, so they never got through. Until
awesome.
Eventually they did. Eventually I think somebody took the tour.
Alyssa, if you're heading out to the room over there, is there any chance that you could ask Mr. Dana Larson to come in, please?
Mr. Larson.
Yes, Mr. Dana Larson is our next
So
guest.
yesterday was fun at the Pride Parade here in Vancouver. Vancouver becomes alive on Pride weekends or Pride weeks. I think it should be, I was talking to one of my cab drivers when we were cruising away from it, should be like this all the time. It's too bad it only happens once in a while. It's like, there's a bug, he wants to hang out. Get him high, yeah. But yeah, I mean, it's just such a cool environment and atmosphere during Pride. Everybody's having fun. Everybody's out in like skimpy clothes, and their inhibitions are minimal. Happy 420. You know, people doing what they normally want to do but feel like they can't for whatever reason, including Mr. Dana Larson, who was donned in a beautiful little ensemble.
We had a great time at Pride, and the Cannabis community's been doing it a few years now, and we get better every year, and our float gets better and better, and this year was awesome. We really got in the spirit, and we had a giant joint on top of the truck, and we had a beautiful float. We had about 10 live pot plants all scattered around the vehicle, and it was a lot of fun. Jody and I were on the back. We had a big joint. We had a smoke machine that was going to hook up to it, but the smoke machine kind of canceled out about halfway through and wasn't working so good. So we became our own smoke machines, and Jody and I were puffing joints really hard, blowing the smoke in the fan, and you could see the weed smoke coming out of the front of the joint. And so that worked out pretty well, actually. And yeah, it was a great day. I love participating in Pride, and I'm glad it all gets to be. And I see a lot of parallels between 420 and Pride. I mean, they're different in a lot of ways, but there's definitely similarities in between these movements and how these things have grown over the years. And I think that 420 is kind of on the verge of making that flip between being something that's criticized by the mainstream to being something that is celebrated by the mainstream.
Oh, that will be amazing. You have an article that's on cannabis culture explaining some of the similarities between the cannabis community and the gay community as well.
Yeah, I mean, there's obviously differences, and there's differences between the racial equality and the gay equality kind of movements as well. But there's lots of parallels too, I think, in terms of a cultural group that's got an activity that's forbidden and that's coming out of the. And there's a lot of propaganda. There used to be, and still is, a lot of propaganda against the gay community, that they're there, they want to get your kids and turn them gay. They're trying to convert people, and they have some kind of a secret agenda other than just being treated like everybody else and being regular human beings. And I think we see a lot of similar criticisms against the cannabis community, that we're somehow out to get people's kids and turn them into stoners like us, and that we're, degenerates, or that we're hedonists. And there used to be the perception of gay people, especially earlier on, not so much recently, but that they're just hedonists. We'd all be having gay sex, but some of us have to work for a living. We don't have time for that kind of stuff. And that was a very common kind of perception about it, that it was like a choice. It was a lifestyle choice, or a choice people are making, and that it was just kind of a superficial thing. And the way they say, recreational marijuana, which sort of implies it's just like a fun, unimportant thing, and it's not really a big deal.
Right.
And I mean, I know we're not born to be a pot smoker, and the same many people are born with a sexual preference or a sexual, desire and metabolism and that. But at the same time, I think that there is definitely that all these human rights movements and all these rights for civil liberties go together, and whether it's racial equality or sexual equality or cannabis, the war on drugs and that kind of thing, all these things have a very similar base to them. And certainly Pride started out as a protest, and it's still a protest, and they make it clear it's still a protest, but the laws have changed in Canada. They're not really protesting against the government anymore. They're protesting against homophobia that might still exist in our communities. They're protesting about things that are happening around the world in other countries where there are still pogroms and punishments for being gay at the state level, And so I think there's always going to be that protest aspect to it. And I think cannabis, our events in 420 are a protest, and they're a celebration. And I've had people say to me, well, once it's legal, are you going to stop having all these celebrations? Like, are you going to stop doing 420? What's the point when it's legal? And it's like, no, when it's legal, they'll be bigger and better than ever. And it'll be more fun because people won't be afraid anymore. And we'll still have things to protest, but the celebration will just become a little more, and the protest a little less. But to me, it's all part of the same thing.
Yeah. So do you always participate in Pride?
Well, I haven't. I mean, this is the 4th or 5th. We were in there for a couple of years, and then we missed it for a couple of years. But for the past, I think 4 or 5 years, we've been in it. And we used to have a fire truck that we'd get in there and set all the fire truck up with everything. But
Don Briere's truck.
Yeah, it was Don Briere from Weeds, his truck, and he was there as well. But this year we got the float, and we had it all doled up with some banners and some promotion there, and encouraging to save our dispensaries as well. And I think in some ways we're kind of the most I don't know if controversial, but subversive float there in a way, because so much of it is corporatized now, and I guess that's a good thing, when your protest becomes so much in the mainstream that all the big businesses and banks and all that want to be there. But in terms of the law, in terms of what we're doing, we're the only float there that's breaking the law with our float. We're the only float that's really sort of challenging the mainstream in that way. I mean, I know Pride definitely challenges the mainstream just in and of itself, but I do think in some ways that what we're doing is sort of the continuation of that battle for human rights, and definitely part of that. And, I look forward to the day when the Mayor of Vancouver and then the Prime Minister of Canada come to our 420 rallies and participate and say good things about the cannabis culture, and I totally believe that is going to happen. Like the Mayor of Vancouver, probably not the current mayor, but within the next 5 years, 10 years at the most, we'll have mayors showing up at our 420 events. And when the first prime minister shows up, at some point, it'll be a while, but it will happen because these things are only going to get bigger and bigger.
We've had politicians before, like Libby Davies and others.
It's pretty much the only mainstream elected member of the legislature or parliament who's come and spoken at our events.
We had a Liberal.
I'm trying to think if were they elected or were they a candidate?
Oh, I thought he was elected. Maybe not.
They might have been. I know I think Nicholas Simons might have spoken at one of our events as well, but I don't think he's been at 420. But it's been a few and far between, right? So, and they're MPs, but Libby Davies was deputy leader, but still, it was kind of for her to do that was also, she told me she didn't tell the party until afterwards that she was going to speak at 420.
I love Libby.
And she told me the story. She said she told them afterwards, "Oh, I spoke at 420 yesterday," and there was a gasp, an audible silence on the other side of the phone, right, as she told them this. But she also said that in the weeks afterwards, she got more people telling her, "Hey, I saw you at that. Thanks for speaking," than almost anything else that she's done. And that was really, I mean, I got one here, but sure, the more the better.
Libby was the greatest
politician in this and that she was really sort of taking a risk within her own party to come and speak like that. But it's very positive. I don't think anybody came after her for that kind of thing. And
I'm sorry that she's not part of the party anymore.
Well, she's still part of the party. She still comes to events. She still participates in the NDP. She's no longer an MP.
She's not available.
Yeah, but she's definitely still I go to stuff and I'm my community for the NDP, and I still see her there. So she's still part of the team.
She's fantastic. I think she was the greatest of all the politicians in this country, the most progressive, and not even just that, but not even just like what you would consider progressive, quote unquote, but she was just the most realistic. And there's, I think, a difference between these sort of political labels that we give politicians, like progressive or conservative or libertarian or blah, blah, blah. And then there's just the ones who are honest, like Ron Paul. You could tell when he talks that he actually meant what he said, and he really truly believed the things that he said. Even if you didn't agree with everything that he said, you still could see that realness in him. Dennis Kucinich was like that as well. Libby Davies is kind of a Canadian equivalent on that level. There's not very many of them. Jody Emery, Dana Larson.
Well, when you're a politician, you try to be all things to all people and to couch the things you say in such a way as you offend the minimum number of people and maximize those who feel included in what you're saying, and that sort of leads itself to a weird way of seeing things sometimes. But definitely, Libby was a wonderful MP and is a wonderful person, and one of the reasons I was and still am happy to be in the NDP. But all the news about the Pride Parade was how Justin Trudeau was there, the first time the Prime Minister's come to the Vancouver Pride Parade, which is great. It'd be nice if he didn't sell weapons to Saudi Arabia, which is a country that tortures and persecutes a big gay population, and that, if more of their actions matched up to it's easy to march in a rally, it's hard to cancel $1 billion trade deal. That's all right, I got my one here. And to take a financial hit for what you believe in and to actually change people's lives, right? So it is disappointing that they're still giving weapons to Saudi Arabia
Yeah, that's brutal.
Despite his
How
stand
do they
for
justify
gay rights, right? Like it's just cash.
They
It's
even
a big
blame
business.
Saudi Arabia for 9/11, even though we're not so sure about that one either. But
Well, the people that were engaged, that the people on the plane, the people that did it were Saudi Arabians, and had, at least some of them
Right.
had Saudi Arabian
The people that
passport
did
stuff.
it.
None of them were Iraqis or
Right.
From they
People that
invaded
did it in
Iraq.
quotes.
But I'm not sure they should have invaded Saudi Arabia. But yeah, it was not Iraq, obviously.
right, now crazy stuff. But yes, Trudeau, of course, always good with the photo ops down there.
Yeah.
Hugging people, probably.
Yeah. And so you were also giving out some information about your dispensary as well, right?
Yeah. We gave out several thousand little envelopes that we put together, these cute little envelopes with some promo stuff in them. One of the things we gave out was to encourage people to call the mayor and city council to save Vancouver dispensaries, and we had some phone numbers on there. And if you go to sensiblebc.ca/save, you can find out how you can get involved in protecting and saving dispensaries in Vancouver, which I think is important for what's going to happen in the rest of the country as well, and get some better bylaws in here. And then we also gave out some promo for our dispensary, which now has an everybody is welcome. All adults can come in with no prescriptions or medical documentation, and that's actually good for our mail order across Canada. So anywhere in Canada, cannabisdispensary.ca, and you can check out our products and do mail order. And then I gave out some things for my books and for our creams, for MJ Creams as well. And I'm going to plug a book that isn't out yet, but it's coming soon, The Pie-Eyed Piper. It's supposed to be back from the printer on August 10th, so it should be available on our website shortly after that at danalarson.com, and we'll have copies here at Cannabis Culture. And it's one of my favorite little stories that I've done that's now going to be in a nice book format, very beautiful. So we were doing some promo, but the main thing is to celebrate the cannabis culture and the pot pride, and certainly I think that the cannabis community does and should celebrate and support the LGBT community and the gay community and pot and the pride parade and all those things. I'm all for equal rights and equal choices for everybody, and it's a lot of fun at Pride. And if you can see some photos of me on Facebook, I was wearing a cute little outfit that is not the thing I wear every day, but it was certainly fun. And
the key word there.
Yeah,
It was an amazing.
it wasn't all little.
Oh,
There was some.
not 'cause you
there
were-
was some
that's 'cause you were
bulges here and
stuffing.
there.
Yeah. He brought a cucumber wrapped in tinfoil with him.
Gotta represent.
That's right, baby.
Gotta represent.
Thank you so
It was
much
fun.
for coming on, Dana. I really appreciate it. And thank you so
Great.
much for inviting us to join you in the
Yeah.
parade as well. It was amazing. I haven't had
Great
the
work.
chance to come to one of the Pride parades before, and I've always wanted to go, and it was a really magical experience to really just be a part of it. So thank you.
It's a huge event, and we were near the end of it, right near the tail end, and so we don't we're not in it, so we don't get to see all the people. And I watched the video you made, but I think that didn't get the whole parade in either. I think that was just part. Or did you get the whole thing, or was it just kind of
up
the?
to where
We
the
missed-
partying started. 'Cause
Yeah.
there was a bit of a party at
We
the end
missed
where
one float.
everyone was
Oh, right.
following, and it was just
Because everyone
madness,
comes
people
in.
were just
They
swarming.
wouldn't let us go down that part. They were yelling at us. When we came up, we got right to the beginning of the parade when it split off. And so the one float that we didn't get was one of the ones where there was naked dudes gyrating or whatever, mostly. And they kind of just
don't
pulled away.
worry,
And
we still got
I
lots of
tried
naked
to.
dudes
Well, there was
gyrating
lots of naked
footage,
dudes
so
gyrating.
don't worry.
I tried to go over there, and she's like, "Who are you? You can't go there." And we're like, and then we tried to go the other way. She's like, "You can't go there either." And we're like, "Fuck you, we're going." And we just took off.
Wow.
They had private security working there, Genesis security, all wearing black, looking like Blackwater style, and they were really rude.
They were really rude.
Yeah, they were. The guy just about rode his bicycle right up your ass.
Yeah,
He rode right into you almost.
Yeah, I was taking footage, and then it was Jeremiah who actually stopped him to talk to him. And had he not said something, I would have and I
It was
hadn't
brutal.
turned around. It was
Yeah, I kind
on
of
top of
got a
me,
little
kind
choked
of.
with him. I don't know. It wasn't
Yeah.
very. I was like, there's no need to be aggressive, but.
we went media a lot
Yeah.
in people's faces that day. But
We were
other than
walking
that,
right down
most
the middle.
People were so
We kind of
excited.
infiltrated the parade in a way that nobody else really does. We just
Yeah,
kind
it
of
was
walk right through the middle of it with our cameras to get everything. So, are you gonna play the video?
Yeah, we do actually have a time lapse video that would be good timing to play that. Alyssa, would you
Okay, right on. Well, thanks for having me, guys.
Yeah,
Much
Dana.
appreciated.
Thank you,
Happy
Thanks a lot.
post-Pride. And if you're watching, you're invited for next year because everybody's welcome to come march. There's no limit on how many people you can have in your float. There's only limits on your actual vehicles and that. So it'll be great fun next year as well and every year. So right on. We'll see you guys then, if not sooner.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Thanks for having
Thank
me.
you, Dana.
Mr. Dana Larson.
Awesome beats,
Good
by
work,
the
Dana,
way.
on everything. all of the projects you've been doing lately have been really awesome and successful. The Pride thing. Watch for more from Dana. There's always something new happening. Yay. Video.
Yeah.
Throw it on. So this is the one me and Carly made yesterday, walking down. It was fun. Yeah.
Mad
Styles.
teamwork.
Mad teamwork.
Mad teamwork.
Yeah, no, it's good working with you.
Yeah.
I like it. I think we do a good job together.
Awesome team. Killing it.
Killing it.
And you're gonna dab and watch this. It got so excited, just like
Jump halfway through.
Yeah. But we're
Alyssa's
gonna start it where
working
it
on
belongs to start, so you guys can see it.
And here's your rig.
Here's my rig. One of my rigs.
What's the name of this one?
This one is named Pandora.
Pandora. Oh,
Pandora.
yeah, it doesn't.
Yeah, I love her.
Oh yeah, I'm looking at the monitor now, and I can see that it's like it started halfway through at the Jones bus. Yeah, it's a lot of corporations and stuff.
Are we all set
You
up to
ready?
go again? Okay.
Okay, take 2.
See ya. Stoned. I took a dab. It got me high.
Nice.
Smoking some of my
Fun
pistachio
parade.
butter, stuff. Yeah, that was an amazing parade. It was so much fun.
Yeah.
It was really amazing.
Yeah.
The crowd was like, I've been taking photos and videos of a decent amount of events lately, and I've got to say that was like a different experience. Like
The crowd was having the most fun.
God, every single time you'd walk by with the camera, they would cheer and dance and like hug and blow kisses. It was amazing. It was like the most like beautiful experience. It was great. It was better than I could have imagined for sure.
I love the Pride Parade. When I went for the first time a couple years ago, and I was like, whoa! I didn't realize it was so cool.
Amazing. Yeah. I'm
Because
not
parades
gonna
are
miss
usually
it
pretty
again.
boring. Like, parades are kind of like, eh. I remember parades being a kid and like sitting there on the pavement waiting for so long, and like watching it go by. It was like the
but
only
they don't
time
have
it was
people
fun was when they were
gyrating.
throwing candy.
There's no twerking
Yeah.
and cool costumes with sparkles and.
That's true.
People
Not a lot of
pulling out
gyrating
joints
in the
and
Nanaimo
hugging.
parades when I was a kid.
No, not much gyrating.
Frank Ney, the mayor, they should have had him up. He was always dressed like a pirate. He would lead the parade.
Not much in the suburbs of Ottawa either. Didn't see much of that. No.
Probably not. No gyrating. Freddie was saying that he hasn't gyrated in years. Yeah.
We also have another video about something else that's happened recently this weekend. Something very exciting. If Alyssa, some of you may know this already, but if you don't, well then we'll let the video make it a surprise for you.
Ooh. Oh, now I'm intrigued.
Yeah.
What could it be?
Alyssa,
could
want to
it
roll
be?
this video for us? Yeah. So Poco.
There you go.
We in Poco.
Poco, new store.
New store in Poco.
Yep, Shaughnessy, 2918 Shaughnessy Street in Port Coquitlam, our latest addition to the cannabis culture family.
Yeah.
And you can find fine quality cannabis, selection of it there. It's right next to Pizza Place, Panago.
Yeah, and we did
and Hemp Hooray, which is a head shop that's been there for a long time that you should also frequent.
Yes. We
Yes,
did
I like the word frequent.
a show
That
on
means
Cannabis
go more
Culture
than
News
once.
Live.
Yeah, we did. On Friday we did. My show from the new Poco location. Check it out.
With Mr.
Dun, 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 dun.
That's
me. Craig X is in the house. What's up, homie?
It's crazy.
What up, what up, what
I
up,
think
what
this
up?
is the longest he's been in the room when I have a show on without like.
I know he's been itching.
I'm
like
Jumping
so
on.
There.
I'm-
He's
I
like
have.
he can't sit still.
It's true.
He's like,
I have been jonesing for a while. I've been over there
Yeah.
pacing and shit like that. Just been rolling joints
eyes lit
successively.
up when you
I
said
did.
his name.
so well behaved today.
Yeah.
Well, it's when you've got Malmo, when you've got Dana on, it's already hard enough to get a word in edgewise. Period. Right. So.
It's true.
So
Gotta
what do you
follow
can't?
that act.
Yeah. And after how Dana had his act in full regalia yesterday, I'm not sure I want to follow that.
Oh my.
Don't get too close if you're following. That's true. Yeah.
Might be not what you expected.
I don't know if the people in the video that were watching could really see what Dana was wearing. He was behind the joint. He was the one who looked like, the gay biker or whatever. He had the little leather vest.
Well, he had the
thong.
He had the
sort of.
leather. He had the leather thong on, and a leather vest, and then a weed necklace kind of deal. That was it.
I did a
and
little
that was it.
time lapse of walking through the parade before we started walking. And it's on, let me see here. It's on the Cannabis Culture magazine Instagram. And the cover photo that I picked for that, it illustrates pretty well.
And Dana's.
I think it's all legs.
It's hard to show it on the screen, but if you are on Cannabis Culture
I
magazine,
have a couple really funny pictures. Actually, I can show one.
It's a lot of thighs.
Let's do this. This will be funny. We can really
I'm
show
also
Dana's.
going to be editing a lot more video, and I'm going to be bombarding Cannabis Culture News Live with some Pride videos as well this week. So
I
there
took
will be
a
more
ton
to
of
come.
photos.
Tune in for more of Dana Larson's thighs.
Yeah, wait, you'll see.
Yikes!
Wow, I really did get a lot of photos. Holy moly.
Well, you have been known to snap
I
a
do that.
chat once in a while.
you?
Yeah,
Oh,
exactly.
here we go. I saw that. Oh, here we go.
And they're not always safe for work, but careful what you look at, Carly.
There you go. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you might see something you don't want it,
Here,
girlfriend.
okay, here we go. Can they see? Oh. Oh, the bud cam? Okay. Let's see. Uh-oh. Did I do it? Is it worse?
It's just a silhouette of his outfit.
Well,
Oh, really?
okay, so all that's black is all that he was wearing.
You know
All
what?
the rest is Dana. So Dana in leather
It's
short
not-
shorts and a leather vest.
There will be lots
Enough
of pictures
said.
and
It's a
videos.
leather cannabis vest, even. It's got a little trim of. Looks like he had that made.
You should have worn it on Friday for the opening of your show last week.
Oh, I should have.
Probably would have drawn in the traffic.
I can wear it next Friday.
It had glitter on the back too.
Right?
Is it
That was
glitter?
pretty cool. It had glitter on the back.
Oh.
Oh well. Jared's gonna get two of them. Let's face it. Then he's gonna get one for going out and one for like good wear.
Just the silhouette of his outfit. Yeah, you can see now. I see it on the monitor. That's funny. So on the other one, it actually
That's
looks
so
not
funny.
so bad, but.
If you turn the brightness down, it might have been a little easier. But yeah, to throw back to erase the image.
Yeah.
Friday at Poco was cool.
Friday at
Thanks for having me on
Poco.
CCN there, big man.
It was very cool. It's a great little location there. I actually like it
Yeah,
a
it
lot.
is.
And it looks cool inside. Good weed. I like the
Speaking of
pot
good
we've been
weed,
getting. Yeah, you want to
I
show off
wanna
some
show
of
off
Soon
some
to have a few more products in there as well too. But just the scale
Yeah.
up is on. You know, we're coming. There'll be a little bit more this week. A little bit more this
Yeah.
week. So
There's if you're in Poco, stop by.
2819 Shaughnessy. I can't pronounce it. But yeah, it was a good time. Make sure you check the replay back there. Pot and Poco, I think was the name of the show.
Poco. Yeah, Pot and Port Coquitlam, Cannabis Culture News Live on Friday, this Friday's show. It's on the front page of pot.tv.
Sorry, Jeremiah Vandermeer with Carly Marley and me, Craig X,
Look
from
at this.
Expert Joints Live. Now that's a nug, my friend. Oh my lord.
This is the...
Oh,
This is
Love
Love
Potion.
Potion.
God.
Which, if you haven't tried it, it is so appropriately named. It has such a wonderful, dreamy feeling. It's so
Yep.
uplifting and relaxing at the same
Cool.
time. It's wonderful. It kind of does make you love everything.
Does it look okay?
So-
Yeah, it looks good. The only thing ruining that shot is your ugly ass fingers.
Oh, yeah, they're dry.
They're a little
yeah.
dirty and
Beautiful
dry.
fingers. My fingers are beautiful.
Hairy,
Even my broken one came back to
your
life.
hairy knuckles.
I'm just not going to say anything, otherwise the chat's going to go crazy. So.
Oh, you just said.
Yes,
Yeah.
it's good that your finger's back in action now.
We both got sunburned yesterday pretty hard,
We
though.
did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. A
I
little bit
got
of sunstroke.
very
Tomato
bad
style.
sunstroke, actually. So a reminder to everyone, when you're smoking a bunch of weed and you're in the sunshine,
Wear a hat.
drink water. Drink water.
And wear a hat.
Oh,
yeah.
put my hair.
Yeah, yeah. I know your hair won't protect you from the skin cancer, though. You know. Then you can end up with hair like Jeremiah's as well, too.
That's right.
Next thing you know.
You're just picking on him left, right, and
patient.
center.
That's all I do. That's all I do.
That's what I set my razor to, hospital patient. There's
So-
a setting for that.
So that's my payment for doing the show here on Pod TV. It's just I get to nail just Jeremiah any way that I can with the
Whoa.
comments.
What
With
show
the
do you think
comments,
this is?
I made Cindy.
Phrasing.
Yes.
Yeah.
With the comments, basically nothing but constant ribbing, shitting on Jer.
Ribbing, yes.
Yes, shitting on Jer is just all we get. Good time busting
Good
balls.
recovery, yeah.
Yeah, so that was a lot of fun, and thank you guys for letting me come crash by here today there, Carly.
Yeah, no worries.
Looks like you guys had a great time yesterday at Pride.
Oh my God, it was amazing. It was
It
great.
was fun.
Yeah.
Carly had a cute little outfit on, too.
Yeah, I was wearing my Miss Mary Jane coat, booty shorts.
That's right.
Yeah.
I heard that you guys backstage before the show started wrestled over which one got to wear the little booty shorts.
She always wins the wrestling
Always
match.
wins. Always wins.
She has the
Can't
right.
beat Carly in an arm
She's
wrestle.
she's a pro leg
Over
wrestler.
the top.
Pro leg wrestler.
Nice.
She's been a totally like amateur, I guess, pro.
Semi-pro?
almost
Amateur
pro
pro.
circuit for
Amateur
years.
pro.
Just below the pro circuit.
Semi-pro.
Yeah, semi-pro. That's the one. Keep working.
That's it.
You'll
There you
get
go.
it.
Okay.
On the independent circuit. She hasn't,
right.
hasn't been signed to the big, not to the big
it used
dance
to be
yet.
the backyard leg wrestling.
That's
she
right.
started with
Now she's on the indie circuit,
That's right.
hoping to get called up to
Yeah.
the world circuit. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's right.
Soon Vince
What happens when you
McMahon.
invite two boys
Vince
on your
McMahon
show?
will be calling.
Wrestling. Just randomness. You get too many stoners on your show, though, and it just... well, why don't I just quickly, while you roll that joint, just make my little plug? Because, it wouldn't be me if I didn't make a plug. For those of you who don't know, you should know by now, I do a little show here Thursdays on Expert Joints. Expert Joints live on Pod TV. We do it Thursdays 4:20. Me and Stormy Ent. It's always a good time. It's a lot of fun. We run a couple hours and smoke a bunch of weed, and a bunch of hilarity ensues.
Is Stormy feeling better?
She is feeling better, for first things first. Yes, she is coming back around. She's been out in Tofino the last couple of days on tons and tons of medication and fresh sea air, and she's just about back. That sounds like
fun.
Yeah, it is, actually. It's pretty good. I think she doesn't even need a board to surf right now. She's so popped up on the pills. She's been doing a lot better now, so thank you very much, everybody who was looking for her and to send the words of support. Good to have Homegirl back on Thursday. Tune in to see more of Norm. And this Thursday is episode 52, which means it's a full year, basically, of shows, or the last show of the year, if you will, before I start a fresh new year. So I'm doing a big old super-duper episode 5,000. I am
5,000.
5,000. That's about how many guests I'm going to have on the show, basically.
Yeah.
Started out with the idea of inviting a few of the best guests. Well, kind of everybody said yes. And now we're taking over the second floor lounge and doing a whole episode from out there with, 30, 40 people maybe. Could be 20 something. And then I've got a bunch of people who are Skyping in. Basically, all the best guests that we've had from the first 51 episodes are going to be back to join us live, either on Skype or in studio for a big old celebration of everything that's Expert Joints in the show, and just basically my way to say thank you to everybody who's been on it and been a part of it and for supporting it. So it's going to be a supersized episode, literally. If you know somebody who's been on my show, they're going to probably be back. So make sure you come check it out. It's going to be fantastic.
Is it going to be 7 hours long?
I figure it's going to be at least from 4:20 to 7:10. Could go longer.
Wow.
I imagine.
Sorry.
You're going to be packing them all in little slots.
Everybody's going to get like 5 minutes is basically what it's going to be.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty much everyone's. So, hey,
You
how
got
you
5
been?
minutes?
Check up. What's going on? Okay, yeah, you got 5 minutes.
It'll be fun just to see how you pull that off.
Right? And then what else is going to be really good is there's going to be the TCC guys are going to have some syrup. Garden of Zion's going to have a big old slab of shatter.
And you can get that syrup at
Cannabis Culture. 1674 Davie Street.
That's right.
And
can't you get it at Beatty too?
I think you can get it at Beatty.
Maybe
If
not.
not, but you should go check it out at Beatty at 512 Beatty Street.
512 Beatty.
You can definitely
Or
get it here at 307 West Hastings.
Or 2819 Shaughnessy.
Absolutely.
And don't forget to shop online at cannabisculturehq.com.
And if you're in Toronto, 801 Queen Street West and
711 Queen Street East.
yeah, more coming soon. That said, boy, you guys are getting good at that now. I've really whipped y'all into shape the last few months,
Expert pluggers now.
Yeah, so anyway, it's going to be the most crazy, fantastic episode. There's going to be weed and dabs and prizes and giveaways, and Miss Envy's coming down, and we're going to have rappers and entertainers and artists and all the people, all the celebrities, all the Pot TV hosts. I think, Carly, I haven't heard if you're the last Pot TV host to confirm if you're going to stop by on Thursday, calling you out live on air.
She's like the Mary-Kate and Ashley of Pod TV. She's the holdout. She's like,
pretty much. No,
Not
I'm too
doing
good.
it.
I'm too cool for you fuckers.
Not doing
No,
it.
not happening.
I'm pretty sure I just agreed to work a dispensary shift.
So,
But I might be able to slip in at the beginning. I might be able to snag in if I'm like right at the beginning and then whip on down to
doors are
Davie.
open and so is the dab bar. Feel free to
Cool.
stop through on your way to the
If
shift.
there's an open dab bar, I will be there.
Yeah, you know how that goes. Sorry guys, Pod TV, what can I do? Hee hee.
You don't work till 6 or something, right?
Yeah, right. So that should be able to happen. It's
It's
going to be great. It's going to be the most fantabulous episode I've ever done. It's going to be off the chain. It's our season finale. It's kind of the year-end review. It's going to be, God, can he actually pull this off? We're going to see. We're going to be giving away some stuff. There's going to be free shit to happen. So be in the chat room. Be there. Thank you very much for supporting us. Really, really, really means a lot. I've been here for just about 6 months now doing shows between Expert Joints and Pot TV out of the studio. It's been a lot of fun. Thanks for having me. And it's going to be a good one, y'all. Best come through. Hashtags don't miss it.
It's
Best show ever.
Yeah, it is. It is going to be amazing.
So
It's been super awesome having you on the Pod TV.
It has.
Thank you. I know I'm a lot of a handful.
Part of the family, man.
Right? I know I can be hard to handle and shit, but my dog and pony show is obviously resonating with some people because everybody I invited
You have
said
a pony
yes.
too?
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah.
It's cool. He's coming in for season 2. Oh my God, season 2. Tune in. So next week for episode 53, which will be the start episode 1 of season 2 to confuse it for you.
That's way too many numbers.
Too many numbers for Jer. A new look, new refresh, new things a guanden. But come nice. Come this week.
David has a question.
Learn more about next week.
I put those baggies that were sitting on your desk out there
Yeah.
away just in case.
Perfect.
Oh, can you bring those in here?
Nice,
Yeah,
actually.
let's do that.
So anyway, they're going to move on with another segment. I'm going to let them get back to it. Thank you very much. But tune in live to Expert Joints live on Pot TV live at 4:20 Thursday.
Yes.
Thanks, guys. And make sure, of course, you catch Greg Marijuana Man Williams, Al the Alchemist, Kush Queen in between Wednesday under the Seed Desk. Seed Desk. Jeremiah Vandermeer, Cannabis Culture News Fridays.
He just loves to
Support all the Pot TV. I can't do it. I can't help it, but not do it. Okay, I'm done. Jay from Lake, Carly Ann Marley, 420.
Mic drop. So that was Craig.
See, you want to let me hear that
Thanks for coming on.
expert plugs.
Now let's just talk about some weed. I just want to get high.
I heard there was some Romulan Mikado in the house.
Romulan Mikado.
Yeah, there's a couple sacks.
See, I'm so silly today because I've been smoking the love potion. It makes me so giddy and relaxed.
You can come and get this at Cannabis Culture Davie Street
Oh my goodness.
today.
Take
That's
this.
the Romulan.
I just want to grab a handful
It's
of this.
pretty yummy. I wonder if we can show it off a little better here. I'll do it to the big cam. It's probably a better view. That desk cam kind of looks like it ain't so good on that. But here. How's that? No? Oh. Here, okay. Oh. Can that be seen? Yum. Yep, this stuff's tasty. Romulan Mikado. Just got it, actually. Temple of Calyx.
Look at these buds.
Temple of Calyx.
So beautiful.
I liked how you were doing that with the buds.
Oh my gosh.
Bud fingers.
So yummy. These are beautiful. As is all Temple of Calyx, of course.
Yeah, a lot of good weed coming through that dispensary.
Lots.
I'm very happy. It's fun. I like running the dispensary, so you've been working there. We've been doing a really good job over there. It's fun.
So much
And
fun.
everybody that comes in is so impressed because we make it available to everybody. So we get a lot of tourism. We get people who are just so astonished that we're able to sell to everyone. They say, how are you allowed to do this?
A lot of happy
It's like, we're
customers.
not really.
There's a lot of
Yeah.
happy customers.
And it means they don't have to go to the street to get something that isn't harmful. It's ridiculous. Why should people have to go to the street to get this? We should be able to have these shops everywhere. It's not. It just ain't fair, man.
Yeah, we also work our asses off on making it the happiest place ever with awesome weed. So that helps people too.
Yeah. Right now we have 23 strains in stock that you can choose from.
And they all smell so different, and they all have such different attributes, which is the most amazing part.
Yeah. And I don't know. It's kind of just it's rewarding on so many levels, and the people that are in that neighborhood need it. There's a lot of medical patients. They come in there.
Yeah.
So, it's really being helpful to a lot of people, and I just hope that the government allows this to continue and doesn't try and hand it over to these LPs, these nasty, gross LPs who aren't really taking care to make sure that the patients have what they need.
Yeah. And if you are in
And the mail order sucks. And you know what? It's not even if they would make everybody be able to be LPs, then that would be the solution. Everybody should be LPs. They should license everybody to do it. You should be able to get a license just like any other business. It shouldn't be different than anything because marijuana isn't different than anything. It should be treated just like every other substance. So
Yeah.
until that happens, we're just going to keep doing what we're doing.
Yeah, and it's important you support your local dispensary. I'm seeing more pop up in more cities. I'm so happy that I'm seeing dispensaries open in Ottawa. Most of them are, from what I can tell, pretty strictly medicinal, MMA or MMPR type thing. But if you can, go and support your local dispensary. If you're in Toronto or if you're in Vancouver, if you're in Port Coquitlam, come and shop at Cannabis Culture, because that really helps fuel the activism. And not only that, it helps the government see what you want when you're able to come into these shops and show with your support. That's very visual, and the government notices those things.
No, it's true. The more people that frequent these things, the more the government knows that they have to make them available. See, what I think is going to happen is if we just keep fighting, the government will build the model around us. Yeah. They have to, because if they can't, like, you know, with threat of arrest, what are they going to do? Somehow make it worse? What they could do is come in and shutter them. But I have a feeling they probably won't.
Yeah.
I guess they really could, if they wanted to, come in and be heavy-handed and, you know, constantly. Right now they come and arrest us, but we just open again, and then they don't come back. So if they came back every day, but how do they have resources to do that?
It would be a massive waste of resources. We would probably not be the only ones to protest that in the community, because that would be a ridiculous waste of resources, especially in a city like, I imagine that would be more likely to happen in Toronto. There's a lot of other shit that Toronto has to worry about.
Yeah, and they can't stop it because they just will pop up everywhere. You go and arrest a couple people here and there, and then they all pop up again. You can't go and arrest all of them every day. They spent like millions doing that last bust in Toronto where they raided 47 dispensaries, or 44 or 43, and then 4 more. Yes, I don't know, it just is not sustainable. So I think we're going to win. We just got to keep fighting. We're on the way. And yeah, we have more selection and a better sort of system than ever before, here in Canada at least. I'm hoping we adapt some of the American models. It's funny, the Canadian government pretends that they've gone down to the United States and looked to find the best practices of Colorado and Washington, when in fact they go down there and they pretend, but they'd come back and they change the system to be something that's an oligopoly of a bunch of small corporations who are the only ones allowed to produce marijuana, and they have to send it through the mail.
Which is not right.
No. So the government has to eventually, I think there's just going to be so much pressure, and there's going to be us reminding them about the best practices of Colorado, which are a lot better than what they're proposing or what have proposed so far.
Now, we will keep talking, but we are pretty much out of time, so we should probably
wrap it
just
up.
Smoke. Yeah, I was going to say, though, these are both like indicas. I got a nice purpley indica here.
Oh, is this the
the
purple candy?
Purple candy, and then we've got the new. So maybe we should ask Chat what we should finish off soaking.
We have the purple candy.
Let's show
Did you
this
show
off.
the buds off
No, I
yet?
haven't.
Oh, let's see the purple candy buds. Let's see. If maybe that will keep it in its focus, and then is that working?
Oh my
That's
gosh,
the purple
it's
candy.
so crystally.
Purple
It smells like candy too.
Yeah.
I'm honestly, I'm asking Chat because I'm undecided. Both of these strains look so amazing.
That one's really nice.
I haven't tried purple candy.
And that's the Romulan.
And it looks amazing, but Romulan's one of my favorite strains, so.
And what's the one in that bag? Oh, that's Romulan.
That's Romulan.
And then we already smoked the Love Potion.
Mm-hmm. We would smoke a lot
Love Potion number 1. It's not Love Potion number 9. Looks nice.
Purple candy.
So that looks nice. Super dope.
Smoke all
There's
of
such
it.
such a delay on our thing here. But anyways, we're just sitting here watching the show. So.
You guys are watching us, and we're watching you.
Yes.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Okay, so I saw purple candy. So.
Oh, in the chat?
Yeah.
Oh, and Shinobi Outcast has a question about the Globe and Mail report. So there's a report in the Globe and Mail about dispensaries, the nasty things that are in your weed dispensaries. And they published basically what seems to be, they did some research, but even in their own article, they say, well, it's not very scientific because we don't, there's a whole bunch of factors that would contribute. For one thing, what about the chain of custody, bless you, on these products? They had a hard time getting them tested, and so they had these things sitting for a long time. But there's several, they tested, I think, 9 dispensaries, and 3 of them had microbes in them, including a cannabis culture strain of Durban poison. And what they found in them were types of microbes that are regularly found in soil. And so, these things, it's kind of with the testing thing, I'm not really sure any of that matters. I think that I'm taking it very seriously in that I think that, you know, weed testing would be good if it was affordable and there was a way to accurately do it on your weed consistently. But I think there's a couple different levels of this. One, I'm not really sure how much it matters. I think that you don't want mold on your weed, but I think that there's a difference between, I mean, you can see mold by looking with your eyes. And for thousands and thousands of years, people have been smoking marijuana without extensive marijuana testing, by analyzing it and looking. And they look at it by looking at it with their eyes. If you see that it has any mold on it, you don't smoke it. So, you know, that's kind of one of those, it's like produce at the store. When you go to the store and you see there's a moldy apple or like, you know, brown spots on your potatoes or whatever, you don't get those ones and you get the other ones. And because you know, and yeah, there's probably some microbes on those too. But you know, that's just what this is it's called produce, and marijuana is a form of produce. So often, you know, there's these types of things. And I'm not trying to make any apologies. I think that weed should be free of mold and those kinds of things. But I mean, I think there's a few factors there. 3 of the dispensaries had stuff on them, and I'm not sure that any of it in any of those things. I think all of those dispensaries are probably fine to buy your weed at. I know our weed is supreme and awesome, and we smoke it all the time.
Amazing. And
so, you know, I mean, it's kind of, I think, more reefer madness in a lot of ways. And what it really does is it helps the LPs, and it helps this new government mentality that says we have to be doing all these expensive tests. Because that's how it fits into their LP system. So the Globe and Mail, of course, knows all this, and this is what they do. And when they talk about, they say the nasty things in your marijuana, but then they admit in the article that, well, it's not really actually harmful to you.
But they bury it in like a massive 3-page article that even
Right.
activists, it was hard to get some of them to read and go, look at the bullshit they're saying, because they're going, what, this is a massive article. So you just look at the headlines, and the headlines all are totally reefer madness, but when you actually get into the article, it's a different story, which is
and what we're going to do
super
is
lame Globe and Mail.
I want to
super
talk to
lame.
I'm going to talk to some experts about what it really means, because I do take it seriously, and I want to make sure that we're not selling a product that is subpar. And I want, you know, I wouldn't be opposed to testing the marijuana at all. I'd like to do that, and if that's something that's possible, or if there's a way to do it consistently, because usually what it is you test one bag of it, and then, you know, everything else that comes from that grower doesn't get tested or something. Like, that's not actually accurate either, because every bud, I mean, seriously, how do you actually consistently test for things like microbes on marijuana? They could be on one part of the plants and not on the other, or something like that. So,
well, yeah, think about a mushroom. When you wash a mushroom, like, there's so many little areas where anything could remain, but when you put it on heat, then it cuts it off, and it doesn't.
Well, that's the other thing.
You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
and people
marijuana
consume those all the
grows in
time.
soil and shit. They put fertilizer is made of, you know, it's like, come on. So it's like, just like all vegetables, you have to deal with them like a vegetable. And I'm not really sure if, you know, and this whole weird thing that they're building where it has to be tested for THC, they're saying, and CBD and all that stuff too, that's nice, and I think you should test for those things, but I don't think it's necessary. It's like testing, I always say this, bananas for potassium. It's like there is potassium in bananas, and even in potassium it can be dangerous if there's too much of it in a substance, but the THC is not dangerous, CBD is not dangerous, and so you don't need to test for it. And they don't test for potassium amounts in bananas, so you shouldn't, as a legal requirement, have to test for anything in marijuana.
And it's actually really easy to get too much vitamins and stuff like that, believe it or not. So, I mean, I've gotten very, very, very sick from having too much vitamin C and vitamin D, because I only drank orange juice and played in the sun when I was a kid. And I was sick for like a week or so. Never been that sick from weed before. So sunshine and orange juice can make you way more sick than cannabis can. And they don't test sunshine for... It's just crazy, the hypocrisy, the level of hypocrisy that there is there. It makes no sense to me.
Somebody said, Professor Weed said, their editorial today was BS. They're pulling away from the reporter's suggestion that dispensaries are safe and that testing is unnecessary. Yeah, because they did say, I mean, there was some fairness in the article, and they were saying, they even mentioned the fact that maybe the testing isn't important, or that, because really it's not that harmful, and there's these kinds of microbes and all kinds of things, and you burn it off when you smoke it. So, But anyways, it's a larger issue, and I think we're going to do more to sort of tackle that issue on Pod TV and look into this whole idea of testing. We're going to have to, because the government is using this as one of their main arguments. Yeah, and I don't think we can take it lightly. I think we need to actually pay attention to it, and because we do want high quality cannabis in all its forms, and so there you go. Yeah, I mean, for me, when I smoked weed, I've been smoking weed for a long time, and when I would find weed when I was a kid or something that had mold in it or those kinds of things, you look at the buds to assess them. You look at the stuff before you smoke it and see, and you can smell it, and you can identify these things. You can't obviously see everything, but just like with any other substance.
Well, but I mean, honestly, though, you can get little mini magnifying glasses,
Right.
like at our head shop and on our website. And it's as simple as looking at it under a microscope with a light, and you can, if you want to, look at your own buds. And I do often.
Yeah.
And all you have to look at is how clear the trichomes are. And I've looked at a lot of the buds that I smoked under magnifying glasses before, and it's the same suppliers as Cannabis Culture, and they're clean. They're good weed. Our weed is flushed really well. It's grown really well. It's great.
Well, I think that just on the Globe and Mail's reporting, I'm not sure I trust any of it at all. Like, they didn't even get the address of our location right. They said it was the Friendly Stranger store, a totally different store, when they were talking about us.
I'm wondering if that was intentional or not, because we've had a lot of reporting on our locations, and I'm wondering if after giving us the bad press, they didn't want to give people our actual address.
Well, that's a weird thing to do. No, that's just a fuck up. That's no, trust me. I worked at many newspapers, and they always screw up all the time about everything, always. Like, it's like you can't get it all right.
Like,
it's just one of those things.
Taste like candy.
The purple candy tastes like candy.
Got that purpling terpene.
It is tasty.
Yum, yum, yum.
But yeah, because here's the other thing is, well, I don't know how much I want to get into it, but
Yeah. Well, let's just smoke some good weed. What do you think about this weed, Alyssa? You need to taste it and tell us. I feel like you've been so quiet this episode.
Alyssa, she doesn't have a microphone.
Oh, you don't have a microphone?
Or do you have a microphone? Now she does.
Now I have a microphone.
How's it going, Alyssa?
I'm good. Gonna taste this weed.
Yeah, taste that.
How are you doing this week working in the Urban Shaman?
Yeah, I was there earlier today. And then now I'm moving into a new home.
Oh, yay! That's exciting.
Yeah, and stressful, but exciting. Very exciting.
420 friendly?
This does taste good.
That's cool. Yeah, I guess I think that's the way of the future is 420 friendly real estate and properties.
It is in Vancouver. When you look for an apartment, half of them have it on, half don't.
People should be opening like 420 friendly apartment complexes and 420 friendly hotels.
It's true.
I want a 420. I really want Cannabis Culture's 420 hotel. Like, I'm patenting that name. Nobody steal that. That's mine. Hotel 420.
Claimed.
Yeah, I want that. It's gonna happen one day. It has to happen. You know,
I mean,
you
people
go
do it
into
anyway.
all the rooms and you have vaporizers and everything. Shit, I think they should have cannabis infused ice cream parlor. Like that recently, I think that was Dominique's idea or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I kind of thought of it myself as a soda shop. Like, they could have cannabis infused, like the syrup bar. Or something.
I want terpene perfume. Like, I want to smell like Congolese all the time. It's just always. Imagine going in for a hug to someone and they just smelled like a fresh bud of red Congo. Like, you just want to hug them forever. That just is the best smell ever. And it's a happy smell, too. So, I'm like getting happy just
Then
thinking.
you get high from putting it on, and you'd be even
That would be
more popular.
amazing. That'd be so
get high
nice.
from putting on your cologne.
Yeah,
Boom.
Raw has a terpene candle. It's really nice.
Terpene candle.
Yeah, it has cannabis terpenes in it.
Cool.
Yeah, and it somehow masks the smell of, like, gets rid of like the icky weed smell, like the ash and the bong smell, but it it's nice. It like
Raw.
It's good to add to the weed smell. It doesn't necessarily cover it up, but it's complements
We sell
it.
our pre-rolled joints at Cannabis Culture in raw rollies.
We do. But we are working on getting CC rollies.
We are. We're trying to get branded CC pre-rolled joints with the little logo.
I'm determined.
Because the raw ones have the raw logo on it, but we could just get a CC logo. I
Well-
think raw or some company will make them for you, same type of ingredients.
I thought I saw pictures of those.
Oh, those were the ones that Chris Goodwin printed off on his home printer. That's ingenious Chris Goodwin
It is
coming
very
up with his own
genius.
design on his home printer. But yeah, those ones, I'm not sure if the ink is really the ones you want for that. I'm not sure. I don't know if those are for
I've
sale.
got some professional samples coming on the way, so.
Interesting.
I envision that every time someone buys a doobie from one of our stores, and then they go and they smoke it with people and they pass it around, everyone's like, damn, this is good weed. And then they look and they're like, oh shit, Cannabis Culture. Of course it's good weed, you know? Just like,
Bam.
you know.
Yep. We should totally have pre-rolls all over the place. Those pre-rolls sell so fast.
Well, you just
It's
need the
crazy.
filter part, right? It doesn't have to be
Yeah.
like.
Yeah, it's just over the filter is where the logo is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
You're right, so it doesn't burn even.
No, it doesn't
Yeah.
burn. Like I used
No.
to like write messages like "Happy Birthday," you know, if it's
Yeah.
someone's birthday, hand them their
Jody-
birthday joint. Or
Jody
Hearts
writes with
or whatever.
Sharpie on her filters to identify what her doobies are for pre-rolls, I've noticed.
just straight up
She'll like
Sharpie.
take
eh?
them and she'll like flip through them. They all have a little letter for the strain to help her out.
We wanted to do Jody's joints and like have Jody's favorite like weed selection and have like a little Jody's
That's a
joints.
Great idea.
Yeah,
I like
With
that.
the little.
yeah. She could pre-roll them herself because she's so damn good at rolling.
Oh my gosh, she's such a good doobie roller.
Yeah, she's the real expert joints.
And she does it with raws, which most people don't have an easy time rolling with raws. I like get friends. Every time I give them a chance, I end up re-rolling my doobie.
With the raw, yeah, they're a little slippery.
Yeah.
I like.
And they don't stick them.
I'm an elements person myself. Always like the elements.
I didn't know that.
Yeah,
Huh, interesting.
elements. They always make the nicest little thin rollies. I just always. Went
I
for
like
them.
my Pure Hebs. They're
Pure Hemp's
awesome.
great too. Actually,
Yeah.
gotta say, Pure Hemp pretty awesome.
They burn so clean, and I like that they're unbleached and that they're all natural, and that, like, they're thin, but
Smoking.
they're not so thin that they are
Smoking.
Smoking.
Mm-hmm.
There's-
Smoking brand.
They are smoking brand, which is available on our website
Mm-hmm. There you
and
go.
in our head shops and in our lounges. And I was curious because I just really wanted to see the way this strain would affect me. And this purple candy, that purple terpene just gets you
I am
so
fucking ripped.
big.
Holy shit, this stuff is
Oh,
like
man.
the bomb. I am totally ripped.
No, it's
And I'm not
so
just saying that because
different
we're
than
selling
the
this shit.
Love Potion.
Like,
No.
that's some really nice weed. I am
I mean, the Love
totally
Potion got me
honest
really
about
stoned,
the weed.
but it was a different
Like the Harlequin
stone.
doesn't really get me high, you know, because it's a CBD heavy strain.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
mix it if I want to get high. I
But
like
it's
mix
good
a
weed,
little
and we
Harlequin
sell a
with
lot of
everything.
it, and it's because it fights your pain and stuff. But this
And some
purple
people-
candy is like,
A lot of people
goddamn.
come in and they have only smoked when they've gone to Amsterdam or a couple times when they were in high school, and they just want to, not drink, but, for example, watch the fireworks that happened recently in Vancouver and just have it be a little bit more of a heightened experience. And
Right.
they don't really.
Sativa.
I probably wouldn't give them, this purple candy, for example.
No.
Or like any Temple of Calyx strain, pretty
Yeah.
much.
Purple shirt, purple medtainer over there. That
Filled
should
with
be
purple
over here.
candy.
It's pink slime, actually, is the color.
And the purple medtainer. Pink slime, yeah, that's nice. Oh, and your purple. Oh.
Wasn't an accident, guys. It wasn't an accident.
Is that
Well,
why
it
you
was an
told me
accident
to
that
wear a
your
purple
No,
shirt?
it wasn't. No, it wasn't. That was an accident, actually, funny enough. But welcome to the 420 Lifestyle Show.
That's funny. I thought you were just way craftier than I thought there for a sec.
You know what? I
like,
wasn't
damn,
that crafty,
she's
but
really crafty.
I wish I was, though.
Yeah.
That would have been
Set
crafty.
the whole thing up. That's funny.
All right. Well, I'm really stoked. I want to go eat some pizza.
Yeah. Is that what we're doing?
I think so.
We should do that.
I think we
I'm
should
hungry.
have some pizza.
Oh, baby. Hey,
I think so.
69 people watching. Oh, now 71. There you go. All right, 71 people. Good to see you
Thanks
out
for
there.
tuning in.
Pod TVers.
We love you.
We love you. Tune in Thursday, Friday,
Next week.
Monday, Wednesday. Wednesday is next.
And then Thursday.
Don't forget
Friday.
Wednesday.
And then Craig plugged most of the shows earlier, but come back again next week at 4 o'clock for the 420 Lifestyle.
Yep.
Where I will have more videos and fun things and stuff and weed
Funs
things.
and stuff. Peace.
You ain't